Rhea versus Jade has just been confirmed for Clash in Italy. Smackdown is over. Let's talk about it. The show kicked off with Rhea Bloody Ripley. She cut a promo. She accepted Jade Cargill's challenge, officially giving us this what is going to be an absolute heater of a match. Even better than their WrestleMania match at Clash in Italy. This is literally a European WrestleMania at this point. I think Jade should honestly win the title back here. I won't go too in depth because I'll save that for my official predictions video probably next Thursday. And then right after that, she was interrupted by Charlotte Flair and Alexa Bliss, and they were trying to get on the same page. Alexa Bliss was trying to get them on the same page at least. And then they were interrupted by Fatal Influence. I'm loving to see these ladies still in the main event scene. It is absolutely incredible and amazing for them, and honestly for us too, because they are doing great work. And that ended up giving us a match between Charlexa going up against Fatal Influence, but then later it was changed to Charlotte and Rhea versus Fatal Influence to try to get Rhea and Charlotte to get along. The hot take for this one is, quote, "Who is more muscular? Women's Contest Volume 2. Watching another mid-card gym girl match for the second time is going to be exhausting." Usually I blur the names out, but I've decided if you're going to be just an asshole or a hater, you should be able to stand on business when people come to fight you on your opinion. You're putting it out there in the public, so if you're gonna hate, you better stand by it. Now, I'm not saying to go send hate to any of these people, but they should be able to defend themselves. But again, don't send hate. I mean, I guess some of their promos leading up to WrestleMania were about their muscles, which was pretty stupid. But I cannot agree that, I'm assuming he's referring to Jade Cargill when saying mid-card. I don't think she's a mid-carder anymore. She is main event worthy. She has the charisma, the in-ring ability. Her promos aren't bad. She's not like the best in the business, but they're certainly not bad. This match is going to be amazing. I have no clue what this person is talking about. Then we had a match between Tama Tonga and Shinsuke Nakamura, which was won by Tama Tonga. Then, surprise, surprise, after the match, they started beating down on Shinsuke. Solo went for the spike on Shinsuke, and Tama Tonga stopped him, and it looked like we were going to get, maybe him turning on Solo, but then he just hit his hidden blade on Shinsuke Nakamura. They just please pay off this storyline, because I'm so worried it's going to be another A-Town Down Under situation. Please just pay off this storyline. But then they beat him up, and Royce Keys came in to make the save. Or sorry, no, this one was Damian Priest coming in to make the save. And yeah, that was just about it. The hot take for this one is, quote, "Finally getting some character development out of the MFT faction. Hope they get more backstage segments and stuff to really get them over as a legit threat on SmackDown." I agree, but I don't think that's going to happen, and it's going to be hard to take them seriously when they just lost nearly half their faction. I do like that we are getting character development for them, though. That is a great part. Next, we had the match between Charlotte and Rhea going up against Lash and... What am I talking about? Let me backtrack a little bit here. We had Tiffany Stratton's US Open Challenge, which was answered by Lash Legend. Now, here's what I do not understand. We'll get to the match in a second, but why did they not have Blake Monroe answer? She showed up in a backstage segment later in the show. So she was at the show, but they didn't have her answer the Open Challenge. Why? And in her backstage segment, she interacted with Chelsea Green, which is another person I really want to see her work with. So I'm excited about that part. And thank God it wasn't another Veer Mahan or Giovanni Vinci situation. Now, this match was, quite frankly, just bad. These two did not have any chemistry whatsoever. The match just kind of felt slow and sloppy. And that's no offense to these two women. Some people just don't work well together. And I think that's just the case here. They have two pretty different styles, so I kind of understand why it didn't really work out. Tiffy ended up retaining, obviously the right choice. It was kind of also lame that she answered because we basically knew she wasn't going to win because she's firmly in the tag team division with Nia Jax. But the hot take for this one is, quote, might be one of the worst matches I've ever seen. Now, I think that is a little bit dramatic. There have been way worse matches just recently. I point to Nikki Bella versus Becky Lynch at Clash in Paris last year. So I think this is a bit dramatic, but it was definitely a bad match. Next, we had Trick Williams versus Carmelo Hayes for the U.S. title, and I really hope this is Trick Williams' next feud, and it's looking like it is. It's looking like he's firmly done with Sami Zayn, which I love. It ended up being won by Trick Williams, obviously the right choice here. However, the match did not end clean. Ricky Saints provided a distraction on the apron, and that distracted Carmelo Hayes, allowing Trick to hit a trick shot and pick up the win. So this opens up the room for a rematch, which I love. And I really would love to. I want to see that really bad. The hot take for this one was, this was a great match. What if Trick Williams was your World Heavyweight Champion? He's moving up and he's getting over with the fans. Could Trick get a run with the World Heavyweight Championship? Yes, absolutely. I would love to see Trick as a world champion. However, I think the Undisputed title actually would fit him better. I think once he finishes his U.S. title run, he will be propelled directly into the main event scene. If they wanted to, they could have just put him straight into the main event scene off his debut because he was just that damn good. But I like that they're taking their time with him because he is doing great things with this, and it is only helping him and making him better. Next, we had, this time for real, the match between Charlotte and Rhea going up against Fatal Influence. Pretty solid match. There was some heated moments between Rhea and Charlotte, but they ended up picking up the win. Charlotte hit the natural selection off a blind tag to Rhea Ripley and was able to pick up the win. I don't think this damages Fatal Influence. They have been so hot. They have pinned Alexa Bliss, and they lost to Charlotte freaking Flair, are arguably the greatest women's wrestler of all time, so I don't think it's a big deal. Let me get into the hot take for this one. You know how I said earlier, don't send hate to any of these guys? Listen, I'm not going to tell you what to do with this one. You do what you feel is fit. This one is, quote, can we ban women's matches, bro? Nobody cares about this. Either this is rage bait or this guy is misogynistic. Extremely misogynistic. He might have Andrew Tate as his dad. What do you mean nobody cares? Like, it doesn't even make sense. Like I said, you do what you see is fit for this guy. Then after the match, Jade and Beechin took out Alexa, Charlotte, and Rhea with a blindside attack, and Jade ended up standing tall with the championship. Again, really hoping she wins at Clash in Italy. Then in the main event, we had Sami Zayn versus Cody Rhodes, sorry. Pretty solid match. Gunther ended up attacking him in the middle of the match, allowing Sami Zayn to pick up the win because it was while the ref wasn't looking. What am I talking about, bro? I am having so many brain farts right now. Cody Rhodes won. Okay, let me make that clear. And then after the match, Gunther started attacking Cody, and Sami Zayn had the opportunity to stop him, but he didn't, and just sat there and watched Gunther hold him in the sleeper hold for several minutes. At least several minutes, I think. I don't really know. And, I mean, he was getting booed out of the building. He is fully a heel, without a doubt. And I like the role that he's playing, like the oblivious guy that doesn't understand why people are hating him and thinks he did nothing wrong. I think it's great, and this is a much needed character revive for Sami Zayn. I think Cody, you know what, I'm not going to say whether or not he wins at Clash in Paris, or Clash in Italy, sorry. I'll save that for my predictions video next week. Overall, pretty okay episode of Smackdown, nothing crazy. The hot take for this one is just what a great match, and I agree. Thank you all so much for watching. Let me know what you thought of this episode of Smackdown. Thank you all so much for watching. Like and subscribe if you want, and bye.